Hello everyone, I am Deepali Pathak and today I have brought a new chapter of 10th class biology, that is respiration. Student, earlier we have studied about the nutrition in organism. Then after we are going to start the respiration process. Did you think what happened to our food after its digestion? Did you think how do we get the energy from the food that we eat? So it's very simple. A simple answer for that is the food that we eat get digested, then assimilated. During that it oxidized and release the energy. For that we have to take the oxygen, then we have to burn that, means oxidize that food and then we can get the energy. So getting oxygen, releasing gaseous waste product and releasing energy in the body through that food stuff, through the nutrient of that particular food that we eat, is called as the respiration. That is why after the nutrition we are going to start our new chapter, that is respiration. Student, all these things are correlated with each other. All the physiological work of the human body or the living organism is correlated with each other, and the body system work in a specific coordination with each other, so that the organism can perform its all the vital activities and become alive, become healthy. So this coordination is maintained by our body when it work in a specific coordination. Means when first physiological work over, then it motivate the other work, then other work accordingly ki go on. After getting nutrition, our food act as a fuel for our body. It provide energy to perform all the vital activities, and this energy execute the physiology of the body. So food first must be intaken, then assimilated in the body, and then it release the energy. For that, the respiration is a process in which we take the oxygen which is required for oxidation of the food, and then it release the energy. So respiration is a vital process because it maintains the vitality in the organism. It maintains the capacity of being alive in the organism. That is why it is called as the vital process, in which the food get oxidized and release energy. For that the gaseous exchange and the oxidation, both things are required. Some enzymes, some chemicals are also required. So these are all the respiration. But scientifically we can define it as respiration. It is a catabolic, exothermic and oxidative breakdown of food to release energy in the form of ATP. You know all the terms. Catabolic means the reaction which use energy. Exothermic, then after the process it release energy. And oxidative breakdown of the food. After the digestion, when food converts into simplest form, that is glucose, when it broken down due to the oxygen, it release lot of energy, and this release energy is in the form of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. This compound is formed after the complete breakdown of food. So ATP is our energy currency which is stored in the body and it utilized for performing all the activities. Chemically we can represent the respiration as glucose, which is the digested simple food. It is known as C6H12 and O6. When oxygen is added with it for oxidation, it converts into water, 6 molecule of the water, 6 molecule of the carbon dioxide at 686 kilocalorie energy. So here energy is utilized and stored also. Some part of it is utilized and remaining part of it is stored in the body. Here carbon dioxide is a real waste which is necessary to be eliminated. So this is the chemical equation through which we can represent the respiration, in which our food is oxidized and release energy. Among all these, only the 50% energy is utilized by the body and remaining is dissipated as the heat. Organisms utilize this energy to execute their vital activities, and then they store this energy also. Remaining part of the energy is stored as a ATP. For that, organism it is clear that first organism have to obtain oxygen and they have to eliminate the carbon dioxide which is produced during the respiration. When this gaseous exchange takes place, then the food get oxidized and it will release the energy. So it's specified that respiration takes place in two steps. There are two steps of respiration, and these are the breathing and cellular respiration. That is called as respiration. Generally, people assume that breathing and respiration are synonym to each other, but these are two different terms. Breathing is a process of gaseous exchange only, whereas the respiration takes place inside the cell. So it's an internal process. It takes place inside the cell, whereas it is the external process. Now breathing, when takes place, it completes in two steps. These two steps are inhalation and exhalation. When oxygen is taken in the body, then process is called as inhalation. And when carbon dioxide release out, then the process is called as exhalation. In this way, the breathing is an external process in which only gaseous exchange takes place. The body takes oxygen through the respiratory system and release the carbon dioxide which is produced due to the oxidation of food. In case of respiration, it takes place in cytoplasm and the mitochondria of the cell. So it takes place in three ways. If oxygen is available abundantly, then it is called as aerobic respiration. If oxygen is not available for respiration, then it is called as anaerobic. If oxygen is available but it is not sufficient and our body or our cell has to oxidize our food, then it produces some different product, and that way it is called as the partial aerobic respiration. For all these things, organisms have well developed respiratory system, but it varies from primitive to highly developed organism. The way and the part of body are different in different organism to perform the respiration. In human being, there is a well developed respiratory system which consists of different parts through which it can perform the respiration, means through which they can breathe and respire. So internal and external respiration both takes place in the respirator. So breathing is an external process in which only gaseous exchange takes place, and respiration is a process which takes place inside the cell. It is known as internal respiration, whereas it is known as external respiration. There are some differences in between these two processes, that breathing is only a physical process in which some organs involve, but in respiration it is a chemical process in which some chemicals and enzymes involved. It does not release energy, but respiration release energy. It's a chemical process. Breathing is a very fast process. It is rapid in nature, but respiration means respiration is a slow process. It takes time to complete it. Then let's come to understand the respiratory system of human being, which consists of different parts. For inhalation and exhalation, the part is nose, or we can say nostrils. Through nostrils, organism inhale and intake the oxygen gas. Along with the mouth passage is also there, through which some air enters. Both the passage come together and combine with it at a place that is called as pharynx. Then below that, larynx, which is also called as the voice box, and it had to produce the sound in human beings. It is the organ through which the voice is produced. Inhaled air conveyed to the respiratory organ, which is lung, that is a windpipe, a tube-like structure that is called as trachea. Trachea is a muscular tube-like structure. It is commonly called as windpipe, and its scientific name is the trachea, which is guarded by some tracheal rings on it. In chest cavity, this trachea divided into two main branches, which are called as bronchi. Furtherly, these bronchi divide into many branches. Main branch or main partition of it is called as primary bronchi. Then its branches are called as secondary bronchi. And finally, small fine branches are called as tertiary bronchi. At the end of this bronchi, some bag or pouch-like structures are there in which the inhaled air stores. These are called as alveoli. The main organ of respiration, these are the one pair lung, which are situated in the chest cavity of the organism, and these are surrounded by a membranous covering, which is called as membranous pleura. So this is the structure of human respiratory system, which consists of nostril, then pharynx, larynx, trachea, lungs. In lungs, two branches of the trachea which carry the inhaled air, that is bronchi, then bronchioles and alveoli. Alveoli contains the blood capillary in which veins and artery both are there, where the gaseous exchange takes place. Means the inhaled air which contains oxygen mixed with the blood capillaries, and the carbon dioxide which is produced during the oxidation of food is released out in the lungs, and then it eliminated during the exhalation. the function of the parts of respiratory system of human body is nose, first part, that is nose or nostril, that is also called as the nasal passage, through which intake of oxygen takes place. Some fine hair are also there which filter the air. Here the temperature of the inhaled air is minimized, and then mucus secretion also takes place which engulf the microorganism and prevent our body from the infection. Then at pharynx there is a covering at the proximal end of trachea which enclose it during the eating and prevent the entrance of food particle into the windpipe. Larynx consists of two vocal cords together when they vibrate with each other. In larynx, the voice cord vibrate together and produce the sound. Then the next part is trachea. Trachea is a muscular windpipe which protected by a cartilaginous ring. It protects it from the injury and shock. The larynx leads into the long tube, that is trachea, and it is also called as windpipe as I told you. This support the wall of trachea and ensure the air passage do not collapse during the inspiration. Means the only function of this is to convey the air into the lungs. One pair of lungs are present in human body which are enclosed in the membranous structure which is called as the pleural membrane. This outer covering of the lung is called as pleural membrane. In that is two pouch-like structure are the lungs which consist of the two branches of windpipe that is called as bronchi, and afterward the branches of this bronchi is called as bronchioles which are connected with the air pouch-like structure which are called as alveoli. So this is the structure of human respiratory system in which the inhalation and exhalation takes place. Means it is helpful for the physical process only. It helps in the gaseous exchange only. The cellular respiration takes place when the inhaled air is carried by the blood capillaries to each cell of the body. If we take out the alveoli out here, if we take out the alveoli, we can see the enlarged part A, and we can see the transportation or diffusion of the gases through the alveoli. You can see here in the diagram enlarged image of the alveoli in which the inhaled oxygen come and it diffuses into the blood capillaries, and simultaneously from blood capillaries the carbon dioxide diffuses into the alveoli. This carbon dioxide eliminated out from the windpipe. So this is a way through which the respiration takes place. Means only gaseous exchange takes place. You can see here there is a picture of muscles in which after oxidation of nutrient carbon dioxide is produced. When it mixes in the RBC, it is carried to the heart for purification. Then this carbon dioxide when combined with RBC enter into the heart as impure blood. Heart send this impure blood to the lung. From lung, after gaseous exchange, the blood get oxygenated and carbon dioxide separate from the RBC and removed out from the body as a impure gas. So in this way the gaseous exchange and purification of blood takes place through the breathing process of respiration. Then after this pure blood take nutrient into the cells, each cell of the body, and it carry oxygen too. Nutrient and oxygen combine with each other and produce the energy, that is the cellular respiration. So inhalation, exhalation takes place by the expiration and inspiration of the gases, that is called as the mechanism of breathing, in which some bones of our chest cavity also help. You can see here the lungs are protected by flat bone which are called as ribs. So these ribs, intercostal muscles and a flat broad bone below the chest cavity which is called as diaphragm help to perform the mechanism of breathing. When this chest contract, it increase the capacity of lungs and inhaled air feel in it. When it move upward, it pushes the lungs and air come out, then exhalation takes place. So it is the mechanism of respiration in which expiration and inspiration takes place. Now the respiration itself is respiration takes aerobically, means the respiration in the cell takes place in the presence of oxygen. It takes place in higher animals. Its first step in which the glucose broke down into pyruvate. It takes place in the cytoplasm of the cell and it releases 8 molecules of the ATP. So one molecule of glucose when broke down in the presence of oxygen, it produced 2 molecules of pyruvate which is 3 carbon compound. Then its oxidative decarboxylation takes place in which the carbon dioxide is released and the 2 carbon compound acetyl coenzyme A produced, which undergo a cyclic process which is called as Krebs cycle. So formation of pyruvate takes place in the cytoplasm, then pyruvate enter into the mitochondria of the cell where the further process takes place and it release energy. From the breakdown of glucose, 8 ATP produced, then pyruvate formed. After the generation of pyruvate, 6 ATP of the energy released, and when pyruvate generate acetyl coenzyme A and it entered into the Krebs cycle, it generates the 24 molecule of the ATP. In this way, the 1 molecule of glucose when oxidized, it produces total 38 molecule of the ATP, or it is called as the 686 kilocalorie energy. So this is the aerobic way of respiration which takes place in the cell and mitochondria of the higher animals. But sometimes when oxygen is not available in primitive organism, this kind of respiration takes place, that is called as anaerobic respiration. Means the oxidation of the glucose in the absence of oxygen. Student, you know when glucose broke down, it formed carbon dioxide, water and energy as an end product. Earlier I told you in the beginning. But in presence of the oxygen, it takes place only. In the absence of oxygen, an enzyme is utilized for the breakdown of glucose and it forms a and it produces ethanol, a 2 carbon compound alcoholic substance. Along with it, the carbon dioxide and energy is produced, but the quantity of the energy is very less in comparison to the aerobic respiration. Here the produced energy is 59 kilocalorie, or it is 247 kilojoule. So it is all about the anaerobic respiration. It takes place only in some primitive organisms such as the bacteria and yeast. Here an enzyme is utilized for the breakdown of glucose, that is the zymosin enzyme. It is utilized by the yeast, and the process, this anaerobic respiration process is called as the fermentation. It is very useful process in our daily life. For fermented food we can utilize this process, and from obtaining the sugar from sugarcane juice, this process is used. Even for the commercial production of alcohol, this process is also used. So anaerobic respiration is also called as the fermentation, but some other steps are also there with. Then if oxygen is present but it is not sufficient in our body, then partial breakdown of glucose takes place, and in that condition the aerobic respiration takes place, but it is not complete. That is why it forms lactic acid. It takes place in our muscles when we do hard work or when we do any exercise. So lactic acid is produced and it deposits in the muscles, which cause a severe pain and cramp in muscles. After some time it dissociate and clear, and we can do our work properly. Some energy is also released during that is very less. It is 36 kilocalorie. So in this way the different paths are there through which the glucose broke down in our body and release energy. First path through which energy is obtained, that is the aerobic respiration. Another is anaerobic respiration, and third one is the partial breakdown of the glucose. In all conditions energy is produced, but other end products are different. So student, in this lecture we have studied about the respiration and respiratory system of the human being and its type. In the next lecture we will study the respiration in plants and other organisms, and about the respiratory pigments and mechanism of it.